Hello and happy Wednesday. Here we are once again, another Project Healing Waters special. We've been doing these every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock Central Time Zone, working our way through this stay at home status. So, anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy Wednesday. Looks like my date is askew. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, so how's everybody doing? Let's check in here. We got NC Doc 100. 99 NC Docs, but he's not one. So here we are. So, if you are paying attention to the news or paying attention to the media or paying attention to anything at all outside of the media, if you're walking around, you're seeing this, you're seeing that, one of the things you're going to notice is people wearing masks. And I personally wear a mask anytime and every time I'm out and about. And what I do is I have a homemade cloth mask that my wife was kind enough to make for me. And to get a better fit, this is what I use. I just take my buff and I rock my Project Healing Waters fly fishing buff when I'm out and about. Now, I wear this over top of a mask that has a couple different layers, and I know it's a fishing buff. It's meant to protect me from the sun and this and that. So it's not necessarily to keep me safe. It's one of those kind gestures that, shows everybody that I'm caring to keep you safe. So I ask you, I invite you that, if nothing else, if you're going to be out and about and you have yourself a fly fishing buff, they can be worn multiple ways. I've got so many of them. I just keep washing them and wearing them and washing them and wearing them. And, I wear them more than when I just go fishing. They're great for mowing the lawn and junk like that. So, yeah, there we are. Happy Wednesday. So, looking back at my notes, some of our requests was for a crawdad. And I wanted to do a crawdad. I forget. See, the thing is if you read a ton of books, if you watch a ton of YouTube videos, you quickly forget where you find things. And I have no idea where this came from, but I know it came from somewhere. And if anybody wants to call me out on it and say, hey, that's from wherever, you're helping a person with a traumatic brain injury and with memory issues out. So appreciate it. So we got Ben is in the house. Good evening. Can't stay for long. And we got Jacob, Jacob. Hey, good evening. Well, I should get my iPod up and running so when we go over to the bench we can view the chat. What do you say? Anybody get out, do any fishing? Let's hear some tall tales. I usually post a picture or two of a fish when I catch them. When I go out, I'll catch a bass. I'll take a picture. Usually take a picture of at least my first fish that I catch, because sometimes, well, if you know me, that might be my only fish, and probably is going to be my only fish. But I'm always at the ready. I have my phone, which is my camera, on a zinger, on a lanyard, and I got it quick set enabled. And here's a little tip for you folks. And I can't show you on my phone because my phone is my camera is my phone. But on my phone, I have on my power button, or is it my power button? Yeah, I double tap my power button, and what that does is that activates my camera. So all of a sudden, I pull my phone out, I double tap my I double tap my phone to get my camera turned on. And I even have gone a step further. Looking in the settings, I have voice commands set for, oh, I just reset. I'm getting distracted. But anyways, voice commands on my phone. So I have it set, and I think it's the default setting on my phone, that when I say the word smile, 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 it takes a picture. It goes cha-chink, cha-chink, cha-chink. So I'll get my fish ready. Usually it happens pretty fast. So get the fly out of the mouth typically. Sometimes I'll leave the fly in for the picture just so I can have a cool picture. It depends on how. If it's choking on it, get it out of the fish's mouth. But I'll usually just grab it really quick, pull it up out of the water, double tap my phone already. It's already on camera, and I make sure it's on the right camera setting just at a quick glance. Then I'm holding my phone up, and I'm going, smile, 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 and it's pretty crazy. Did I get my pictures I sent on Facebook Messenger? I don't think so. Where on Facebook Messenger did you send them? Because I guess apparently I have quite a few different boxes I could look at. So, anyways, redfish are tailing, and guess what they're liking? Guess that's gurglers. Oh, I guess maybe we were gonna tie gurglers. There's a whole bunch of Project Healing Waters videos. It seems like everybody suddenly went and did a whole bunch of gurglers, and suddenly everybody's doing crawdads. So if that tells you anything, pay attention now. They might be hitting on gurglers and on crawdads. So, anyways, well, Ben, I'll have to double check Facebook Messenger, because Messenger is so crazy when it comes to business pages. I have All Tied Up set up as a page. I run Project Healing Waters as a page. I'm linked up with my VFW, and I'm also linked up with my Elks Club. So sometimes I get bedings, and I don't necessarily see them. I'm out and about mowing the lawn or fishing or something. But there we go. Anyways, let's go ahead and slide on over to the old bench. How about that? Crawdads. Crawdads. So again, I'm not exactly specific as to where this pattern came from, where I found it, where I saw it, where it's originated from, but it's a pretty simple, easy crawdad, and specifically with the with these Project Healing Waters special segments, I really want to try to tie things that my participants, my veterans at home, can tie without necessarily needing any kind of above and beyond specialty gear and stuff. But be that as it is, here we go. We're going to start this with our hook. We're going to build this on a Gamakatsu. This is a B10S Stinger, size 6. Check this out. Handle with care. Extremely sharp hooks. Keep out of reach of small children. Now, I got a problem with that. What if you have a really large child? Or if you're a really small adult? Or what if you're me and you're just going to get stuck with it anyways? I don't know. Alright, let's get this in the vise. I don't know. It's been a day. There's lots of tension out there, and I'll be honest, it's getting to me. 100% honest. All this tension between the coronavirus and the racial tensions and the protests and people not understanding and people trying to understand. It can be stressful, which is why I'm here. This is exactly why I'm here. This is why I do this, because this is my therapy and this is what keeps me going. All right, here we go. We got our, what I say, size 6. And I'm going to go big O, size 210. And this is a hot chartreuse. You get by with any color combinations as you want. Now, I'm tying these with the mindset that I'm going to fish these in the mighty Mississippi. And I've got the mindset that I'm going to be tying these for my smallmouth bass. And I know that my smallmouth bass like a little chartreuse from time to time. So why not seize the opportunity to sneak, if not just a little bit, of chartreuse into our crawdad. Now, when I'm going to be tying this crawdad, I'm going to be going with a green, an olive theme, because around here, at least this time of year, our crawdads aren't necessarily brown. They're not red. We haven't thrown them in the cooker yet. They're mud. They're mud dogs. What do you call them? Mud bugs? No. What do they call them? I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to build just a small little bump. And I am going to get my dumbbell eyes. And you could use a bead chain eye. If you do a bead chain eye, you're going to want to add a little bit of, maybe you want to add a little bit of added weight. But this is a size 3, 1/40th. I believe that's ounces. 1/40th of an ounce. So 40 of those is 1 ounce. That's how math works. Alright, so I'm going to set these on top, or close to the top. Right about that 1/3, 2/3. If I was tying these on as a Clouser minnow, it's about that same point, right there at that 1/3, 2/3 point. Maybe just a little bit further forward. I'm going to go just a touch forward. Maybe about a dumbbell's eyes. A dumbbell behind the eyes. Alright. We're going to take a little opportunity. I don't have any Zap-A-Gap. Not on me. Not near me. You know, I suppose I could dedicate a bottle and label it for Project Healing Water. So a lot of this stuff that we've been tying with moving forward is all usually just been stuff here on my bench, or the series with the hairline dubbing kit. I think it's been kind of more or less from my bench for all these videos. So I might have to dip into Project Healing Water stash for some Zap-A-Gap. I think I have a couple of bottles. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure we do. So anyways, tomorrow and yeah, probably tomorrow, I'm gonna call the crew. Get ready for a phone call, everybody, just to make sure and confirm everybody's on the same page. But I got a big update on the rod building competition. I have the rods, and I need to coordinate getting them all back to you. Because guess what? The rod building competition is not over. We're not done yet. Got a little ways to move forward. I'm going to get the rods back to you. I'm going to get, I think I have an email waiting in my inbox to check. But what we're going to need is some photographs. And we're going to need a small story or a narrative, I believe, to accompany the photograph. And there's a timeline for all that, and I'm going to forward all that information to you guys so we're all on the same page. So while I was jibber jabbering, that's a technical term, jibber jabber. Hopefully that's not a inadvertent terrible term, but anyways, what we did back here, we got this nice 210 denier thread, big old chunky monkey stuff. Back here, I built just a small little ball, little speed bump, if you will. And the object of that speed bump is we're going to use that bump to flare out our little antennae. And if you notice where we are working our way on the bend, normally our main tie-in points right there, right at, where the tip of the hook and the tip of that barb would be, right about there. We went beyond that. We went into that bend because, like our clouser minnow with our dumbbell weight on this side of the eye, or the shank of the hook, this is going to be the bottom of the hook, and this is going to be the top when it's riding in the water. So top is up, bottom is down. Wait, no. Top is down, bottom is up. Left is right, and right is left. So these are going to be our little antennae. I guess they're antennae. Truth be told, not so good on my anatomy of the old crawdad. But they got these little antennae things. And we're going to stick these out quite far, because we can always trim these back. Alright, we're going to use the lift and lower, and I'm going to drag this all the way to the near side of the hook. Go 1, 2 soft wraps, or 3 or so captured. I'm going to start working my way up the bend. I'm just going to do one at a time. Because guess what? This is a big, fat, heavy streamer. And it's okay to add a couple extra thread wraps if you want. Go right to those dumbbells. And that's good. Just like that. So there we go. We got that big long leg just hanging out. And looking on the side, we've got it hitting just the back of our little bump, splaying out. So guess what we're going to do? Wash, rinse, repeat. On the far side. Take a couple spins of thread. Excellent. So ultimately, what we're going to have are there are 2 little rubber legs. Just kind of following that flow, working their way down. That's good enough. We'll just trim that off. Perfecto. Alrighty. So, let's be the first second. Just kind of looking at my calendar. Today is what, the 24th? Next week will be the 1st already. No problemo. Alright, here we go. Let's get our crawdad little claws on. And for our claws, here we go. Like I promised, we are doing a little zonker. And I don't know, maybe for a size 6 you might want to go with a thinner cut Zonker. I think I may or may not have cut these myself. I don't know. But we need 2 little claws. And what we want to do, what I want to do, so I want to prepare. I just want to cut this at a 45-degree angle. But what I'm not going to do is just come in and just chomp it, because then I'm going to cut off all that hair. I like to get in and cut just the hide. Nice little tapered cut. This little 45-degree angle. Clear that out. Say, ooh, that's nice. Okay, so our little claw. We don't want it to be excessively too long. I'm going to measure it out roughly about a hook's length. Looking at that, kind of eyeballing it. And I know I'm going to use up a little bit of this material, tying it down. So I'm going to cut this down right about there. What did we get out of that? 1 inch. Yeah, there we go. About 1 inch. Alright, I'm going to wash, rinse, and repeat. Make 2 of these. Because wouldn't you know, most crawdads have 2 of them. Clean this up just a little bit. Pardon our dust while we remodel. Clean that up. Okay, so on this side, yeah, I got it tapered down. So on this side, I want to do the same because I want it to mirror. So instead of cutting it at the angle this way, and you know, the reality, I don't think any of this part really matters. That bass is going to smash this one way or another. Or walleye. Or pike. Whoever. And this is just a regular Zonker. You wouldn't want to necessarily try to use a... What am I trying to think of? A crosscut. Save your crosscuts for something else. Just like that. Right. Alright, so there's our diagonal cut end. That's going to be the end. We need to tie in on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come with my scissors. Get in there nice and tight, nice and close. Just trim off just a little bit of that fuzz. Alright, so one of the things I need to be careful about, need to be cautious. Think about it, Ron, don't mess this up. Is I don't want to push my thread back any further as I tie this in. Because if I keep working my way back, I'm going to take all that hard work we did to get that kind of flared out. We're just going to compress and push that down. So we want to make sure we keep our distance. Keep our distance. Alright, again, I want this to kind of flare down. I want this to maybe, you know what? Looking at the angle of how the vise and everything is set up, I think that looks just about fantastic. One soft wrap to capture that. And we'll just kind of inspect. Alright, I like that. Let's continue wrapping this in. Nice and tight. We want to keep this on the near side of the hook. And we'll work our way back. And again, we don't want to squish onto our rubber legs there, because we have our bump, we have our rubber legs, and now we're adding our pincers. Mr. Pincer. Or the claw, I don't know. Boy, we are a quiet bunch. Oh, there we go. I had the wrong chats brought up. There we go. Holy smokes. Let me see. I went bass fishing yesterday, caught a few bass. I'm so close to catching a bowfin. Ooh, a bowfin. I haven't caught one of those yet. I think we have those up here in Minnesota. Maybe? I don't know. Is that like a snakehead? 7-pound bowfin. I don't know. Did a live tie of the woolly bugger. You know, I love the woolly bugger. Hands down, you asked me 1,000 times over, AA Ron, what's your favorite fly? Woolly bugger. Second up, popper. Third up, clouser. Always have a fly of the day with me. Also, I did find my bag of Mr. Brown material, which is pretty cool. You'll never guess where it is. It's with my chenille. Alright. So we got our little pincher for the far side. Line it all up. More or less. Less is more. Again, we're going to kind of keep that at a little angle. Because you know what these look like when they're in the water. Could almost tie them at at a greater, sharper angle than what we did already. Well, let's lock that down nice and tight. Here we go. See what we got going on there? Mm-hmm. I don't know. For length on these, I'm just going to even them up. There. Well, I mean, if the hook length is about an inch, we got about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. So, I don't know. That'll work. Okay. Continuing on, moving forward. I'll allow it. That's funny. I'll let you just take your own guess as to why YouTube asked me if I wanted to allow that one. But, yeah, it's the fins. In New York, if you catch a snakehead, you're supposed to kill it. Really? Are they are they considered? Obviously, if you're supposed to kill them, they're considered invasive. All right, where is my chenille? Look at this chenille. This is a variegated, little black, little olive. We're gonna tie a couple of these tonight. Not too many. But hey, Frank, thanks for tuning in. It's like we always do our chenille. Strip a little off. About a birthday candle wick. If that was a birthday candle, I'd blow on it. Alright, let's set this on and we'll just tie this in. Soft wrap to capture it. A couple more locking wraps. We're just going to wrap that all the way forward. Now, if you notice, if you will, the thickness of our body. Right? We built up some bulk on the back side of our hook. We've built up some bulk on the sides of the hook. But one spot where we really didn't build up too much bulk or interfere was in between, is that hook gap. So pay attention, folks. Let's make sure we don't affect our hook gaps as we are tying our flies. Imagination is your only limitation. You know, the sky is the limit. Don't let anybody tell you no. But if you want a fly to catch a fish, it needs enough hook gap. It's like a law of nature. It's a rule. Not a rule, but it's right up there with kind of, you know, just keep it proportionate to itself. I think if you can keep all flies proportionate to itself, then hot dogs, you'll go bananas. So let's wrap this forward, nice and tight, close touching wraps. And we'll get right up to that, what do you call this? The dumbbell eye. Right up underneath that. We're not going to zigzag around it. We don't need to build it up too much around there. You know, it's not that you need a fly to be heavy. You just need it to be dense. And if you keep things close and compact and it sheds the water, you're going to get a fly that's going to hit that water and just sink a lot faster. All right. What I'm looking for now is we're going to put one last piece. I don't want to waste this. We could probably get one more bit out of there. So we're going to trim this down ahead of time just a wee little bit. Actually, I guess what I could do is tie that in there and then trim it all off. So let's just do that. Minimize our waste. Oh, yeah. At this point, let's go ahead and take our hook. Give it the old flipperoo. If you got a fancy rotisserie vise that just auto rotates, that's when you'll take your opportunity to just go ahead and flip that over. Alright, we're going to tie this in right behind the hook of the eye, or the eye of the hook. Right in front of the dumbbell eyes. Alright, let's go underneath. I see I biffed it right here. There we go. We'll go a couple last cross wraps, diagonal, and that's it. Let's just finish this off with a whip finish. Alright, one last trim. Fluff that all out. We'll just cut that so it doesn't get caught on the hook. Could almost go just a little bit shorter. In fact, I think think so. I'm going to go just a little bit shorter. And when that hits the water, that's just going to sit there and slick on down, slick on back. Ouch. Let's just take the opportunity. And the old squisheroo. Boy, that baby is ready to hunt. Let's go ahead and just take a second. Add a little dab of head cement on there. I am going to see, I've got options. There we go. This is some, nope, I don't want the thin. I want the medium. I'm just going to work that in between the dumbbell eyes. Cover my thread. I think that's going to be it for that. Might need to dress it up with the old bodkin here. Oh. Almost. There we go. Ooh, that's nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now, if we want to be particular, what we can do bum. Here's our olive pro marker. And what we could do is, if we so wanted, let's just go in and color the backs of that green. Suppose so what do you think of this little crawdad, huh? I like it. And that's a mean looking little crawdad. And it's not so much how close and exact it looks like a crawdad. It's how much that bass or whatever wants to just smash it just because. Anyways, the marker I am using, it's an alcohol based. It's a Pro marker, twin tip, double point. And I have marsh green, there it is. I like it because it's got the chisel. And a little fine tip. I've got them on all sorts of colors. I've got green, or I got the olive, yellow, red, blue, gray, black. I don't know. So what do we got here? Dave Coleman. Good evening. What do you think, Dave? Obviously you think, yeah, it'll hunt. That's for sure. What do you think on the balance point? On the placement of the dumbbell? Where are you on that wagon? Where should we place? I think that's where we want it, up front, right? Even though when you see them scurrying across the water, across the riverbed, you know, it's almost like this. They make that sound too, you know. What can I say? We're having fun tonight, right? Sure, you betcha. Alright, let's get another one going. Again, we're going to do this in a size 6. I'm just going to go ahead and mash that barb right away. Use the scissors for that one. Alright, Jacobs suggests I think I might add even a little bit more weight forward towards the eye so it might even stand up on the bottom. So, alright, something to think about. Alright, let's do this. Size 6 hook. 210 denier. If it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. Thread. 99% of this thread gets concealed and covered. And, you know, it doesn't even come out too hot. Unless you hit it with the flashlight on it. Alright, so Dave says yes. I tie all my crawdad patterns like that. Weight on the bottom / the top. The top is the bottom is the top. Ha ha ha. See you later. Alright, so here we are. Size 3. These are little lead dumbbell eyes. Non-painted. Didn't paint these. Unpainted. Unpainted. Yes, and then for the Mr. Brown, man, that's a magical pattern. we could, I think I got some 60 degrees, but I think they're huge. I'll have to double check. Question, could you use bead chain like a leech? Like, yeah, you could just swap this out for a bead chain. Or are you talking like a bead chain leech and just run it all on the bottom? Yeah, experiment. You know, for the most part, these little crawdads are just flipping and spinning around in the water. If they get caught in the current, there's not much they can do. Alright, let's take a second and add a little bit of insurance policy. A little bit of secret sauce in there. There's no shame in adding some of the secret sauce. Just make sure you close the cap. It's kind of rule number one of the secret sauce. Always keep the cap on tight. A few more turns this way, a few more turns this way to really work that thread into that. Nice. So, Mr. Coleman, the stainless steel, I like it. Great. Great for big flies. It's going to be really nice for the big flies. Heavy thread. Speaking of heavy thread, let's work our way to the rear now. All the way to the rear. And if it was just a regular fly, perhaps we would stop there. But this isn't a regular fly. We're going to work our way down into that bend just a wee little bit. And then we're going to build up a small little bump. Sometimes it helps if you flatten out your thread. If it's balled up, the little bits of thread will catch and just bounce around, at least at first. Alright, park our thread right on top of that little bump as I bump the thread. Here we go. Let's grab our little rubber legs. We're going to multiply by division. You all know how that works. You know what? I'm going to tie them both in at once. Make sure that's on this side. I like it. Last time I caught something on a crawdad, it was on a little brown crawdad. It was the Hoosier crawdaddy that I just tied the other day. And I got a walleye on it. Oh boy! Alright, where are we? We're going to add our pinchers. Need 2 of those. I think this might be enough for both of those. Okay, then we'll prepare this one with our little diagonal cut. Cut the hide, not the hair. I've seen cleaner cuts in my day, but that'll be alright. She's up for length. Sometimes when I'm doing stuff like that, I will kind of use my scissors to grab a hold of it, and then I'll actually cut it. Excellent. We're going to prepare this with just a little bit of a haircut. That way when we tie into this, we're tying in directly onto the hide, not the hair. Good evening, Mr. Trybowska. Good evening. How you doing, Steve? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Sorry I'm late. Family time. You never have to apologize for family time. I'll tell you that for free. Alright, so we got our little picture claw. And let's go ahead and tie this in. Remember, we want to keep all of our material forward of those rubber legs because those rubber legs are being held up by our little speed bump. Once, twice. Give it a little look-see-loo. I like it. Continue tightening that down. And we'll bring our thread back to our tie-in point. And we'll get another side. But, Steve, this is all tied up fly tying school, and next time you are tardy for the party, we will need a signed note from the grandson or granddaughter or whomever else will be your representative in such family time matters, set forth here within. Just kidding. Your punishment will be, I don't know, tie 3 flies. Too easy. Okay, so the first one we did the variegated chenille. The second one, I'm just going to go olive. Don't tell nobody, I'm just going to go regular old plain olive on this. Plain Jane, run-of-the-mill olive chenille. Medium chenille. Go ahead and strip that off. There we go. Wait, what? Wife is a former Marine MP. Attaboy. That's awesome. Well, you can thank her for her service. Semper Fi Marine. That's cool. So Jessica says, I'm guessing, but weight is more important here to get it on the bottom. Dumbbell eyes, shift the weight, claws down. Bead chain would even out the weight. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, you definitely want the bead chain in there, or not the bead chain, but you definitely want something. You want something in there. Whatever you do to, whatever method of adding weight, I suppose, is up to you. But I know what we got to do. Why we didn't do this before? We'll do one full wrap. Nice and tight underneath. I missed that rubber leg. We're going to do one full wrap underneath the rubber leg and our claw pincher. You know what that's going to do? It's going to help us get a little more of a flare. I like that. Ha 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 ha. Ooh, joka, booga ja. Now, I was temporarily an MP in Iraq. I got to wear the little MP armband and everything. However, after it was all said and done with, they never awarded us the MP qualification. We were never qualified as an MP, which is fine with me, I suppose. I don't feel like I ever took really MP training or anything like that. So, alright, let's flip this over. Ooh, yeah. Get our thread right in front of our weight. And grab another Zonker strip. Yeah, I must have cut this. Look how uneven that is. Alright, even though we got this nice big long full strip, we're going to tie this whole strip in. Shut the front door. Alright, low on lead wire now. Well, lead's pretty good because it's nice and dense. It's really not much of a substitute for lead other than quote-unquote lead-free wire. You can always string up a whole bunch of bead chains. Here we go, nice and tight. We'll pinch that down. Take a wrap or two behind. A few cross wraps, this way. That's it, we'll just whip it off. 1, 2, tray. Okay, we gotta trim this down. We know we don't need much of it. Just a little tough. Little tough little puff. Alright, let's grab our UV resin. I think with the bead chain, it's enough to turn it over if it's just a simple light clouser. But I think with all this added junk on there, I believe Steve is correct. It would need a little bit of extra mass. But that's why we experiment, right, folks? It's a whole bunch of goop in there. It's alright, we'll just give it a second, we'll set it and forget it. I think I like that. We'll give it a quick zap. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get the marker and dye it up a little bit. And if you don't get it 100% perfect, it's not the end of the world. I think that'll work. Oh, we dropped our cap. Just add water, as they say. It's fantastic. I like it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. What do you think? I think I might go test this tomorrow. Let's see here. We got Frank says very nice, and Steve. Let's see, what do we got? I agree. I usually make the body base with a .035 lead and overwrap to make it tapered body out of the lead wraps. That always gets it down. Jacob says yes. That's what I mainly use. And Jess says yes. Hi, Dave. Alright, here we are. We're about an hour into it, hour and 5 minutes or so. The boss says yes, test it tomorrow. You betcha. Alright, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and when we come back, we will continue to tie a few more of these. Because that is crisscross awesome sauce. There we go. Alright, we'll be right back, folks. Please stay tuned. Quick pause for the cause. Be right back. Alright, we're back. That pause for the cause has come to a conclusion. All right, so how'd we do? Test it tomorrow. Another very nice day. Well, thank you, Dale Sanders. I appreciate it. Samuel says he's going to make a few of these tonight. You know, the thing about crawdads, hear me now. If you're fishing a crawdad where a crawdad is supposed to be fished, where do you think that crawdad's going to end up? If it's anything like how I fish crawdads, it's going to be hung up on some rocks. It's going to be hung up on some logs and some sticks. And anything and everything that it could get stuck on. So, you know, when you get hooked up, see, for me, before I establish that my fly is in fact hung up on a rock or a log or something underwater, if it's stuck in a tree, you know it's stuck on a tree. But if it's in the water, can't tell you how many times I tried to set the hook on a bass. Or what? My brain is so out of it. Trout set on a bass. No. Strip set on a rock. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyways. Let's go ahead. You know what? I don't know where or why. For whatever reason, I'll mess with that later. The clock just disappeared. Anyways, let's head over to the bench. Let's finish this off. Let's tie a couple more flies. That's why you make more than one. I tell you what, sometimes I'll tie just a fly for like, it's a one-off. There's no other way to tie multiples of it. And sure enough, man, I'll get a bass, or not a bass, but a pike. A pike will come out of nowhere, just smash it, cut me off. Like, But what do you do? Alright, let's start with our hook. Eesh, $7.50. 25 hooks. Tell you what, that's a lot of fun for $7.50. Think about the enjoyment I get from tying on it and the enjoyment I'm going to get from fishing on these. Beautiful. He's lucky and he knows it. Yes, he is. Alright, here we go. Finish chartreuse, it ain't no use. 210 denier flat wax thread on our size 6 hook. Gamakatsu B10 Stinger. A little spot for that dumbbell to sit on. What's interesting about these dumbbells is how wide I guess I don't have. If I had my digitals somewhere, you know, I could take an inside measurement there, but that compared to the width of the shank of the hook, it's huge. So you add some thread wraps to kind of make up the difference, I guess. Put a few wraps this away. And we'll add a little dab. So yeah, after I've established that it's not a fish and that I am caught, you know, you look at me and it's just like I'm doing that. There's tension on the whole system, and I'm looking for the line to move. And it's like, is it moving? Is it not moving? What's going on in there? But then you give it a good roll cast, give it some slack. If you're feeling gutsy, you might want to go try to retrieve it. Bop it with the tip of your rod. Be careful. You don't want to break your few $100 fly rod trying to retrieve a $2 fly that cost you nothing to tie, virtually. Alright, we'll layer a little thread base. We'll work our way down into our bend just a wee little bit. And we're going to build a small little bump. Flatten out my thread a little bit. We'll spin counterclockwise. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that's split wide open. That's too much. Here we go. Right up top. Alright, here we go. Bada boom, bada bing. We'll take our 1, we'll multiply it by dividing. And again, you know, I've said this once, and I'll say it again and again and again and again and again and again. What you see me doing is not by any means the way to do anything. It's a way to do something. Serving suggestion. Tie at your own risk. Void where prohibited, not available in all stores. Couple of soft wraps, just to get it where we want it. Until we get it where we want it. And we're gonna. Oh no! Well, that broke right in half. Hey man. We'll try it again. So if that happens, that's your opportunity to silently swear in your own mind. Just a little brittle spot in that for whatever reason. Don't. No way. But we'll try it again. You know, that's the thing is, you know, bad things happen on the bench. You're not going to cry about it. You're not going to lose any sleep. Alright, we just want to make sure that's on the near side of the hook. And we'll rock and walk that one over to the far side of the hook. And once you get up and off that bend, just tie them in on top. And you could trim or break it right off, that's fine. Alright, we'll park our thread right behind or right in front. in front of those rubber legs. Alright, we need 2 little crawdad legs, or not crawdad legs, but our, whatever you want to call those, our claws. And here's this is the piece that a couple of strips came on, right? They were attached like that. I think it's just the perfect piece to use. A little angled cut on this side. Wash, rinse, repeat on the other side. And let's not forget to trim that little bit down. So far so good, except somehow we got something we shouldn't have. We got that rubber leg. There we go. There's always more than one way to skin a cat. Hey man, I'm a cat man. I say in my house, there's always more than one way to cook a turkey. Come on now. You know, that was like one of those sayings. It's just like, where did that originate from? Seriously, who's skinning cats? And are they talking like big cats? Like bobcats? Wildcats? Bearcats? Who knows? I don't know. I think that'll be just fine. Okay, chenille. Let's see, we did... Are these 2 different chenilles? I can't tell. I think one looks darker than the other. This one's just a little bit darker. I don't think I used it earlier. But we're going to use it now. Oh, a catfish. I like it. Good save. Alright. Here we go. Let's do our first full wrap. Right underneath all that. Crawdads are looking like, why? Why? I guess the big question is where do I go fishing tomorrow? I've just been having so much fun in the places I have been fishing. I really don't I don't want to lose this opportunity to study this water. Because for me right now, low water is a new thing. And I know I've been catching at least one fish. I've been catching a fish every now and then. Where I have been fishing, so it's hard to venture into new territory, like totally new ground. I still got plenty of places to explore, wander, and roam. Where I'm currently looking. I think I might do that. Stick with what's familiar, but continue to explore. Get that a couple cross wraps this way, a couple that way, and that'll be it. 210 denier thread. You really don't need to spend too much time building it up. It does that on its own. Don't crowd the eye. I like it. Alright, let's add our head cement. A little dab of glue us right up front. Try not to go too bananas with this stuff. As we know, sparse is narce. More or less. Here we go, ding ding ding. Give that a quick zap. We'll set it and forget it. I do got one just a tick longer than the other. But you know what? I'm not going to lose any sleep on that. In fact, I'm just going to hit it with the marker. And then what you going to do? Alright, so I think next week we've talked me into it. I think we're going to do a gurgler. My variation. You know, it's like everything I tie is a variation. Everything you tie is a variation. Unless it's 100% original. Bonafide freestyle. But even then, go into the archives, you might find you're doing something exactly that somebody else has done. But that's not what matters. What matters is that we're tying flies, we're having fun. Yeah, I'm gonna get your rod back to you ASAP. Unfortunately, the reels will be coming in the fall. That's fantastic. Because I was going to give everybody a big update here on YouTube, talking about the fly rod building contest. But for whatever reason, having all my different windows pulled up and the encoder and the cameras and everything running, it literally will not let me pull up another window without bogging everything down, and I don't want to lose everything. A couple more seconds. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. Let's see, 7:30. I think we've got time for one mow. Or we could just spend the last few minutes talking. It's up to you. Take a quick peek in here. Questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them in the chat. Do me a favor, do me a solid. When we're all done, before we're done, find that like button. Hit that like button for me. I really appreciate it. In between weeks, feel free to go back and watch any of these videos. Any of these live streams are all available. I have all the Project Healing Waters saved in one big bundle playlist. I have my morning fly tying as its own playlist. I have all my live videos as their own playlist. And I have a whole bunch of other different playlists. For your viewing convenience, just feel free to check those out at any time. Also hit that share button. It's also a big compliment to me when you guys spread the word that here we are tying flies, live streaming. The more the merrier. I really, really appreciate when people tune in. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort getting all this put together. It doesn't come together. It doesn't just happen, I tell you that. Like everything else, it takes a lot of work, patience, practice, and determination. Together we can do it. Yeah, sure you betcha. Yeah, one more. Let's do it. Nope, not that one, but that one. All right. There we go. We got our Gamakatsus. B10S Stingers. These are some really good gray hooks. I really enjoy these. And you know what? I think on our last one, I'm going to push the weight back a little bit. Let's give this a try. Question: have I ever tried using red fox squirrel tail for claws? Probably not, because I don't think I have any red fox squirrel. Oh, if Dave Coleman is still watching, there's a pattern. Maybe it's just the red fox squirrel nymph. I don't know. I think we've tied with that red fox squirrel tail. I don't know when it was. A while back, I think. Alright. And this one I'm purposefully putting the dumbbell back a little bit. Because I really want to see how this is going to affect. Because you know it will. That's almost kind of back like a clouser. Maybe that'll help keep it level. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Or I shall see for myself. You may already know. Here we go. We'll get our rubber legs. So next week we're going to do a gurgler. I think. Unless anybody else has any other suggestions. Something unique. Or generic. You know, I think, or should we just kind of go with a theme, a concept, an idea, and build upon it? Well, that's the thing, is, you know, you can go bananas tying flies with all sorts of materials. Sometimes it can be way too much. Like, here's just another little crawdad I've tied in the past, but it just doesn't get down. Even though I've got a butt ton of little weight at the bottom. But it's a bench side. Art. Get you onto this side and that side. go. Already nose, itchy nose. I got hair flying everywhere. I got flash coming out of my ears. Not really, but the bench is a hot mess right now. I will be truthful about that. I'm too busy living life. Did a live stream the other day, last Monday, and I had so much material into that fly. It is absolutely ridiculous. Literally everything in the kitchen sink went into that. It was so much. It was like, can it be contained? And the reply was, no. It was a heavy fly. Let's see about lining these up better for length. Cut the hide, not the hair. If you just go in and chomp it, again, you're going to lose all that. Now we're going to cut the hair. Oh, we got to get our thread all the way to the back. I felt a little bit of my thread part of my thread got caught on that tip of that hook. Looking good. We'll do the same on the other side. Oh, I don't eat fish at all. You tell me what your favorite fish to eat. I'm a bumblebee tuna guy, if anything. Yeah, I don't eat fish. Let's ask the other viewers. What does everybody here, when you do eat fish, if you do eat fish, what's your favorite fish to eat? I guess in the past, for me personally, just a little bit of smoked salmon around the holidays, around Christmas. And just like maybe a bite or two, tiny little bites. Now when I say tiny, I'm talking this fly is bigger than the bite that I would eat. But yeah, it's different. What can I say? I'm not a fish eater. I don't hold it against people who eat fish, but for me, it's easy to remember, or I don't have to remember size or anything like that, or catch count or quantity, or I just got to make sure I'm in season. I'm not gonna target bass when it's not bass season. But all right, so here we go. We got some catfish. We got some blackened redfish tacos. We got walleye. I'm a cook by trade. That's awesome. I enjoy cooking, but I don't enjoy... I never liked fish, really. As a kid growing up, I never really liked it. But I guess that's on me. I also don't eat onions either. But like I said, I got nothing against. You want to catch and keep? Do it responsibly, do it safe, do it ethically, and we're good. Oh, I wanted to bump my thread forward to this. Yeah. Suppose we could crisscross it? Let's do that. Crisscross that, just make it disappear. Not really, it's still there. Okay, so we don't want to crowd the eye. Normally we have the dumbbell eyes right up front to stop us from going too far forward. So we're going to have to use our own brains. Stop it. All right, here we go. We got some more smoked salmon. Steve Trybowski. Yeah, Steve and I are right on the same page. Smoked salmon. Primarily catch and release. Walleye is prize up here in North Canada. You guys also have those monster northerns. Monster Park. Freshwater shark. Doo-doo. 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 I believe the Canadian U.S. border still closed due to coronavirus. Couldn't go to Canada if I wanted to. Whereabouts in Canada are we from there? Frozen fridge. Up north. I got some good friends there in Ontario. Outside of Toronto. And then Samuel, he went trout fishing while stationed in Germany. Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, Germany, that's all, or I'm not going to say all, predominantly brown trout, because I believe it was the Germans that brought it into the U.S. If I'm correct, maybe. That'll work. Give it a whip finish. Saka bush. Sashka bush. Saska bush. If bush is in the name, you know it's up there. Need too big of a patch because this hair is nice and long. I think think that's going to be it right there. And a little dab of Goya. And you know what? I think we can just go right on with bone dry head cement. Remember where I put it. There it is. When you're working on a hook that's upside down, don't forget, it's just going to be a little bit different. If you go like that, it's going to hurt. A little dab of glue, we'll set it and forget it. Any suggestions on where to find prints on making a portable fly tying station? Well, are you looking for something like in a box that contains materials and such? Or are you looking for just a tray, essentially, that has holes and pockets for all the things to go into? Because for mobile fly tying for me, I mean, oh man, portable fly tying station. I've got a half a dozen lights, 6 Regal Vices. I got a fleet that I travel with. I don't know, what's your material that you're looking to make out of? Because there is a really nice, in a moment, I'll go grab it. It's made by Fish Pond. I haven't done anything with it yet. And it's almost like a 3-ring binder type of deal. Style of thing. Whatever you want to call it. And it seems to be pretty neat. I haven't used it. I actually use a banker's box. It was an old bank box. Suitcase attache or whatever. But I tell you what, right now I have an order on, I guess I'm in the list, or on the list of customers to be served with Hartman Woodworking. He made a setup for me that I put my Regal Vice in, and it holds my tools, and it's a nice little travel box. But would I want to sit on the couch and tie flies with it? Probably not. It's not very durable. I'm always very careful with it. But that's Hartman Woodworking. I think I have. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, Hartman Woodworking. Look him up. He's got some trays and stuff, which are great. Anyways, he's going to make a box for me, for my wife, that is designed, when she ties flies, she likes to sit on the couch, sit in front of the TV and tie flies. And she doesn't do it often, and when she does, she likes to just have fun with it. I'll just grab a little bag of scraps, and yeah, she has fun. Ties flies, comes up with some really cool stuff. But I gave him the idea of, what do I want to call it? Like a board game, almost the size of a board game, a Monopoly. Think of a Monopoly-sized box, and different holes cut out, kind of like a big oversized cigar box or something like that. But if you're looking for something cloth, where'd it go? Let me grab that real quick. Oofta. Here's this. This is a fish pond. Let me see if I can't go to my camera and turn off the auto framing. Alright, so here's the fish pond. And unzip it. It's got all sorts of additives. So a little container box and stuff for flash and junk. And this comes out. And I think all these different inserts are just Velcroed in there. Yeah. So all sorts of different accessories. There are ways to accessorize and customize. Yeah, this has got all sorts of stuff. But I guess I got more stuff than this. And then it's all, you put your vise in there. But when I'm going out and tying flies portably, I'm usually doing, one or two patterns. That's what things are focused in on. I'm not getting around to, doing anything too crazy. But when I do go out to like Montana, I know I'm going to be out and about. I want to be ready for anything and everything. I just take everything, stuff it into a box. So that, what is that? That is time. Oh, I think I just tried showing you all those boxes, and the camera was on the fly. I don't know. It's been a long day. These Wednesday nights are getting longer and longer. But anyways, I don't know if I showed it. But this is that fish pond. It's got all sorts of stuff. Frozen Fridge, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. You have a nice skill. Good luck with your stream. I appreciate it. Your path is music. Peace out. Yeah, we all have different paths, different roads we travel. For me, all roads lead to the river. When you see something chartreuse on your face, what do you do? Anyways. Alright, well, here we are. 2000. That's 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Wow, my brain is zapping. Alright, we're going to call it a night. I'm going to thank you all for tuning in. Next week, let's plan on doing some gurglers. I do got to tie up some more green gurglers. Had a really nice one on the other day. And I don't know if it was a snapping turtle or what, but it came up quick, fast, and in a hurry. And they had to disappear. So, alright, we're going to wrap it up. Till next time. Thank you all for watching. Want everybody to stay healthy, stay safe, stay yourself. Do this. if nothing else, throw it over your mask. Represent who you want to represent. In my case, most times I'm representing Project Healing Waters with my buff on. I'm letting everybody know that, hey, I care. Alright, happy time everybody. Tight lines. Peace.